Hello everybody and welcome to episode 97 of the Save Slot 3 podcast. I'm your host, UF Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Chris McGilly.
Hello everyone.
And of course, Mr. Xbox, PlayStation Plus, CW Lanky.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Are you?
Can you give me my full title, please, mate?
Oh, sorry. Current holding, fighting and defending Save Slot 3 Challenge Mode champion, CW Lanky.
I have the value for money, belt boys, and I'm not giving it up.
Yeah, so there was a massacre on the channel. You can watch that. You can also subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button and liking the show so that we know that you actually give a toss. But yes, Craig predictably beat me at a golf game. Who knew that was going to happen?
I got a question on the golf game,
Okay,
right?
maybe.
Craig is left-handed, but I'm pretty sure his golfer was right-handed.
So here we go, Chris. I'm going to blow your little mind here.
Yeah.
For any sports or anything that requires the use of one arm, I am left-handed. So in cricket, Chris, if I was to bowl the ball, I would bowl left-handed.
Okay, and what if you were playing tennis?
Stop. Let me finish. However, anything which requires the use of two hands, I would be right-handed. So, in cricket with the bat, which you would hold with two hands, I would actually bat right-handed, but I bowl left-handed. So when I play golf, two hands, I am right-handed.
Okay.
It's also a video game.
There we go.
Does it matter?
Yeah, I'm just making sure there's some goddamn consistency on this fucking channel.
But what about tennis? Because sometimes you would hold,
Chris, I'm not a fucking nonce. I don't play fucking tennis, alright? Real men play badminton, alright? And I would play that left-handed, okay? Because you'd hold the racket with one hand, yes?
Yeah.
None of this silly two-arm backswings nonsense you do in tennis. Fuck that shit.
Because I'm just thinking sometimes you would, just use your one hand with, a nice backhand or a forehand, but sometimes you want to use both hands. So
you never need to use both hands in badminton.
At some point, one of these challenges will evolve into Chris having to film me versus Craig at real badminton.
Oh, yes.
Because I quite like a game of badminton myself. So when I've got all the weight off, though, because right now I'm not in badminton condition, Craig, to be honest. Left or right-handed. But anyway, before we play real badminton, we've got a show to do. So let's start the show. We always start with what you've been buying, playing, etc. And let's start this week with Massive Das.
Oh, right. I haven't played a whole lot. So last week, if you remember, I was near the end of Star Ocean, the second story R. And I was very close to the end. I literally had to walk through a door, fight the boss. Lost to the boss first time, reloaded, beat the boss, and then had lots of cutscenes, and it was all good. So that was Star Ocean finished.
And how would you rate that, Pengy, before we go too far?
Oh, very good. Okay. You may even want to listen to one of our podcasts next year's how good it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to do the Game of the Year talk. Probably will be the first one in January, right? That makes the most sense, but yeah.
Yeah. And the only other thing I've really played was weirdly more Lego 2K Drive. I just done the second big race because you got to get got to win a certain amount of races and you get the big race at the end. I've just done the second one of that. So there's two more big races and one's the big race sort of thing. So yeah, that's literally all I've played.
Well, that's good. This is going to be a very short episode. I don't know if even Chris hasn't bought and played a lot.
Yep.
Lovely.
And then in terms of buying...
I love it when you wait for you... Chris Pengelly.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
He does this.
He does this every week, doesn't he, Craig? He ends a sentence like, right, well, I'm done now. I'm ready for everyone else to talk. And then he jumps straight back in with half of the info. Pengy, just do both bits of information at once, babe. That's what you got to do, babes. Babes, come on.
Yeah. So, because I finished the Star Ocean, I've sold the Star Ocean, and I've reinvested that money into two games, but one of them's not here, so I'm not going to talk about that one yet. But the other one was Fate Samurai Remnant, which is the PS5 version of that game.
What the fuck did you just say, Chris?
I mean, I blacked out then as well. I was like, what?
What are you on about? Fates? What?
Samurai.
Is this the like weird anime RPG?
Yeah, it's like a weird anime RPG Muso thing.
Was it
with,
Fate Samurai Remnant?
Yes.
Oh. What on earth is this, Chris?
Got a Google search there from Kroger.
Mm.
What is it? What is it, Chris?
It's like Dave says, like an action RPG Muso thing from Koei Tecmo. Brewed quite well.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously I got it on PS5 because, what other console would you get it on?
Not the Switch, am I right?
I really do hope you go back and listen to the first 3 months of this podcast this year and how you have turned, Pengy. You have had a heel turn pretty dramatically away from the Switch.
Has Pengles changed or has the Switch changed?
The
Dave?
Switch definitely has not changed. It's exactly the same as
it's always been shit. Am I right?
Since 2017. My God. Lovely Pengles. Was that all you've purchased, Pengles?
Yes.
Well, he's not going to actually play that bloody game, is he? Because it's fucking Muso on the PlayStation.
It arrived yesterday, and the other one, like I said, has not arrived yet. So,
is there any hope for it, or is it literally just for the draw?
There's hope for both of them.
There's fool's hope.
Yeah. How much was it, Pengles, as well? Because you glossed over that.
£26.
God, that's a lot of money to get on the draw, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, for a PS5 game.
It's quite an expensive draw at this point.
It is. Most expensive draw on money, isn't it?
Yeah, right. It's more money than I've got. Anyway, lovely Pengy. Craigo, have you bought anything? Have you played anything?
So I've not bought anything, no. Obviously, on the nothing on the Switch. I haven't played anything on the Switch. Why would I? On the Xbox, it's just a nice, relaxing round of golf that me and you went on, Dave.
It was very relaxing, Craigo.
Just
I felt very relaxed
afterwards.
45 minutes of absolute sheer pain in my voice, I think, if you go back and watch it now.
So that was good fun. Enjoyed that. And then basically on the PlayStation, just more Final Fantasy again. Not that much more though, I'll be honest, because it's only like half a week since we recorded the last one, isn't it? So I'm only like a couple more hours. I think I'm like 82% now. And I'm just for Chris. I'm on the boats now. I've just started the levels of the boats, which is actually quite a cool like little opening, and that I'm quite enjoying the boaty bit. I'm hoping it turns into full-on Skull and Bones in a minute, and I get some ship-to-ship.
So as it never comes out. Sass.
So yeah, that would be great if we could do that. But yeah, that's it. It's just more Final Fantasy, basically. A bit of golf.
You poor soul. It's bad that a 4-year-old golf game is the best game you've played this week, really. But there we go.
Good golf game though, Dave.
Apart from the putting, I don't know if they've improved that on the newer ones. Please, viewers, let us know if they have. But yeah, the putting was not fun for your old pal Dave. Anyway, what have I bought? I haven't bought anything with a K. As for played on Xbox, apart from the golf smattering, absolutely nothing. PlayStation, also absolutely nothing. PC, 14 hours of Football Manager.
Woo!
Currently got the playoff final with Leeds against Plymouth. Yes, Plymouth. Got Dele Alli after Everton released him on a free. He's done bits for me, boys, in the Championship. Bits for me. But yeah, that's Football Manager. I could sit here all day talking about Football Manager, but only a few people would care. And you know who you are.
But you're in the playoffs, though. Surely that seems a bit disappointing, Dave.
Leicester and Norwich were a joke. I got 92 points, Pengy, and I finished third.
Oh.
Leicester were a joke. Far too good for that division. And Norwich, for some reason, Josh Sargent decided he wanted to be an actual footballer on FM for me this year. So yeah, who knew? And Plymouth were fired by Lewis Graben up into the playoffs. There we go. On the Nintendo Switch, I have played a lot of games, as I am the resident Switch one now. More Splatoon. That game is still fun as all hell. Really getting the hang of it now. Just enjoying it. It's just a fun multiplayer game. Works really well all of the time. Haven't touched a single player of it, but does anyone? Right.
You just beat the single player Splatoon and move on, right, Pengles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm too good for that. I actually like video games, Craig. And speaking of video games, I finally started. So actually, let's actually rewind. I'll pengals this. I'll rewind. I did actually play some Baldur's Gate 3, but I've had 2 game-breaking bugs now that have lost me hours of save, and I've got so annoyed that I've emailed PlayStation support in an attempt to get my refund, which I know they won't give me, but I'm going to try it because it is literally, I've lost about 4 saves, which is about 3 hours, and then I had a bug where my entire party wouldn't move apart from my main character. So they were like in Godforsake somewhere in some cave, and even when I was fast traveling, I couldn't get them back.
Game of the year, Dave.
Apparently, but for me, it's been awful. It really has. Like, the game when I've played it has been relatively fun, but like it is genuinely annoyed me. Not as much as Final Fantasy 16.
You're not going to sell the PlayStation?
No, like it's pink and pretty. So for now, she stays, and I need her for the topic of the show, boys. But so yes, I have played Baldur's Gate 3 as well. But yeah, really annoyed. But the game I have started in its stead when it annoyed me is Mario RPG on the Nintendo Switch. Now, first of all, boys, this is one of the best looking games I've ever seen on a Switch OLED. It is ridiculously good looking. Really is. Like, it looks ridiculous on that screen. It's kind of like that Zelda remake. The Link's Awakening one. It's like...
Yeah, that's the only good new Zelda that's been released on the Switch.
Whatever. So it's like basically the same game as it was on Super Nintendo, but with like modern graphics, and it's the perfect outcome for me. Turn-based combat, exactly what I like, but it's got the like Yakuza and Paper Mario. You press buttons as like to time hits and stuff, so you do more damage, and like you defend, take less damage and stuff. But yeah, really enjoying that game. The cutscenes are incredible as well. A perfect handheld game. It really is a fantastic game. So it's the first time I've ever played it, because obviously, as I've said before, the SNES version didn't come out over here until I think the Wii Virtual Console. But yes, very much enjoying Mario RPG. I'm about 7 hours in, I believe, and I'm loving it. Like, that'll probably be the next game I finish, I think. But yeah, really good game, and we'll definitely talk about that game some more when I finish it and when we get to the Game of the Year discussion, because it has made my 10 for sure. But other than that, I haven't bought anything else.
I should be getting that for Christmas, so it may still get a chance to somehow make
I think
my
it's
10
about 20 hours. 25 hours.
Yeah, I don't think it's very long at all.
So I think you definitely, I mean, you're Pengals, right? You've got plenty of time. You can do that in a day. But yeah, really good. I do really highly recommend it. If you have an urge to play that type of game on the Switch, I don't think there's much better at the moment. If you'd rather spend your money on Pokemon DLC, then cool. But I think that's probably a better purchase, personally. But yeah, that's all I've bought and all I've played. So we'll move on to the topic of the show, boys. Tots. So the topic of the show this week, Pengals messaged the other day. It might have even been yesterday. I want to bring back the challenge, the backlog challenge. Me and Craig were like, okay, well, remember last time, Chris, there was all these problems where you were changing rules and games and, you know, being Pengals about it. But no, I won't do it this time. I won't. I promise I won't do it this time. It'll be great. I love it. I love games. So we're doing our 5-game backlog challenge. What this challenge is, dear viewer, is we've given ourselves 12 months from this very day. So on December 14th, 2024, we have until that point to complete the 5 games or finish the 5 games that we're about to mention. So rules, boys, because do anything with Chris, we need rules. I said to Chris, no game shorter than 5 hours remaining. So if he's played, for example, a Mario game that's come out this year and he's played 2 hours and it's a 5-hour game, that game would be non-eligible, which wouldn't be allowed to be done because that's a 3-hour game. Chris can also not put in, because it's going to be Chris, his 4-hour Telltale game. Like, let's just make it interesting. We've got a whole 12 months. There's plenty of time to play real games, Craig. Am I right?
You actually also get an extra day because there's a leap year.
Even more days for you to get him, Pinky.
It's all about the spirit of the competition, right, Dave? As they say on Game Mess, you know.
So what we're going to do as well, Chris, because obviously this is a competition. So the winner of the competition is the person that first of all, if we all finish, we all manage to do the challenge. Then,
which we definitely won't.
No. What we're going to do, and I'm going to float this idea with you boys. No, I'm not going to float this idea. I was going to say maybe we put points to them, and like certain games, the harder games have more points. But it's just not going to get done, is it? So we'll get to the point. If everyone manages to finish their games, there'll be nothing going on. If someone dramatically loses, there will be a punishment. Are we happy with those terms?
Yes.
Okay, is there anything we'd like to add to the rules before we begin? Craig, I'm really asking you at this point.
No.
You happy?
I don't think it should be anything that's come out like recently as well. I think that should be a little rule.
Yeah, I think of my list I've got currently, one game came out in 2023.
Yeah, I was looking at mine and I was like, is it a bit cheeky to put like a Dragon Guide? And I was like, it's not really the spirit of it, is it? I'm gonna play that next. That's not the backlog, is it?
No, yeah, I think most of mine are from at least 2022.
Yeah, most of mine are quite recent.
Well, if you could do some on-the-fly changes, Pengy, while we're doing ours.
You've got lots to choose from, Pengles.
There's a lot of games.
Hundreds of games that you own and never played, so it's fine.
I'd hate to have to assign you 5 games, Chris.
You might have to assign me 5 games.
Oh, God. Right, let's start with Craig.
Yeah.
Craig, your first game.
So you'll notice there's a bit of a theme with mine, boys. But I bought a new shiny console recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what should I play on my new? What should I aim to play on my new shiny console next year? I got a lot of catching up to do on the PlayStation, right?
You do.
And I thought, well, there's the second part of Final Fantasy comes out in like January, doesn't it, or February?
Yeah, February 29th.
February 29th.
And, I've never even played the first one, boy. So I thought I'd put Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 as my first one.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, I believe it's called on PS5.
Yeah, we call it Part 1. I like Part 1. I thought we'd put that. Maybe I've hoped to try and get that done near the start of the year. Although the start of the year is pretty packed, I think, with quite long games, so that might be a problem. And then I can try and, do Part 2 at the second half of the year. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, and if you don't like Part 1, you don't have to waste £70 on Part 2, do you?
Exactly.
It's all part of the plan. That's a good choice, Craig. That's a quite a hefty game as well. It's about, I think, Pengy, about 25 to 30 with the deal. Once you've done the DLC, which comes with the PS5 version, which is in itself a 5-hour game.
Probably they're side quests though. You got to remember,
huge side quests. The side quest in the DLC is a whole tower defense game that is actually very good.
They do.
No, it's like it's very Gwent. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
it's good.
Right,
yeah, you might get
42 hours. There we go. So yeah, it's probably.
It's a great game. Last boss is really hard, but yeah, really great game. Lovely. Right, we'll give you another couple of minutes, Pengy, to think about your life decisions. So I'm doing
my life decisions aren't right.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll overrule you. So I'm going to do mine in the order of most likely to be done. So I can end on a ballsy one. So the first game for me is a game that you would expect me to have finished already. And a game you would expect me to have played for more than 5 hours, which apparently is all I have done. And that is Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I've only played 5 hours on Switch. But there is also a caveat in that I don't have a save anymore, so I haven't played any hours. I have to start again. I don't know why.
Why do you not have a save?
Because it's not a backup game. And I got a new Switch.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
Obviously, it's a Pokemon game. I'm a big Pokemon fan. Obviously, I gave Scarlet my game of the year last year, and this came out. I think I was just Pokemon that I played. Shining Pearl, and then obviously, if I remember right, 2022 was quite a rough year for me at the start, and then I just didn't get round to this. Craig's finished it, which is really funny to me that Craig's finished it and I haven't. But yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus, that's on mine. That's my first one. That's the most likely to get done. I don't know why I wouldn't like it. So I've been really in the flavour to do it. I've obviously had the game for over almost 2 years now. So yes, Pokemon Legends Arceus is my number one.
You did bring up you gave Scarlet your game of the year last year. Was it Scarlet?
Yeah, the red one, Scarlet.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned the DLC earlier of Pokemon. So, as it was your game of the year last year, why are you not playing the Pokemon DLC?
I think I already own Legends. So it's like, why pay more money to DLC? Like, I'm not a great lover of DLC. I don't think either of us have played any of the Pokemon DLC.
No, I've not played any of the DLC.
Actually, it's just a little bit too expensive. If that's really a weird thing to say, but like, it's kind of an expensive. I think it's like £30 or plus, isn't it? The season pass.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I'd rather play a game that I already own for backlog. Obviously, the DLC isn't really a backlog because it's DLC, right? So it's but yeah, that's my first one. Right, Pengy, let's see if any of these get through the old terms and conditions. Game number one for Chris Pengelly.
So, the first one I put on the list. So, this is a game that I bought this year. really planning to play it, and it's like, oh, I like it. And then, obviously, haven't played it. And then it came to the Game Pass, so I sold my physical version of it, thing. And I really need to give a game in this series another bash, and this is the one that I want to give a bash because I really like the idea of the setting, and that is Like a Dragon Ishin.
I'll allow it. It's definitely not going to happen, but I'll allow it.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good game, Crispin Gate. I like it. Yeah,
it's a real game.
Actual video game.
Yeah, I was thinking a game in that series. There is both Judgment games, are both on PlayStation. Is on Plus. But yeah, this again because I bought the game, I thought this made more sense as a backlog title than saying Lost Judgment or something.
Yeah, and if you're ever gonna like a Yakuza game, I feel like the setting might help you with this one. It's not the longest game. Obviously, you're not gonna. It's one of the longest to 100%, but obviously, I don't think anyone's expecting anyone to do that. But I think just to finish, it's about 25, 30. So
yeah, exactly. It's like a 25-hour. I like the idea of the setting. If I don't get on with this one, then I know the combat's different in like Infinite Wealth and stuff like that. But I think yeah.
Lovely, a good start from Pengy there. Craigie.
Right. So there's developers. I've played 2 of their games recently, and that's Insomniac with Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, what other Insomniac game could I play? They made Ratchet and Clank, did they?
They did. They did too on consoles that you own.
So I thought I'd just go for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Looks good. Looks fun.
It's a good game. I finished
it's
that
on the
earlier
old.
this year.
It's on the old PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that long. It seems pretty realistic that I can do that. I think it's actually already installed. Yeah.
I think it was about a 20-hour platinum for me. Very good game.
Oh, I won't be platining it.
No, you'll get close just playing the game. It's one of those. It's one of those games. But yeah, very good game. Really highly recommend it. Really good use of both the console and the controller. Mr. PlayStation over there, by the way, Mr. Craig Warren. Jesus. Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a big theme on mine.
Yeah, I suppose you finished all of the Xbox games, right? I can't wait for one of you to put Redfall on here, but we'll see. So for me, game number 2. Second most likely game to do. Similar in a theme to Craig at this point. Again, I have a PlayStation. I own lots of games on it that I haven't finished. And I've really been reminded that this game exists from recent free DLC, which has come to the game. And that is God of War Ragnarok, which I have never played. I do own. And I really want to play. I don't know why I haven't played it yet, but it's just been sat there. And I own it digitally as well. I don't even own it physically. I've owned it digitally pretty much since it's come out. And I just haven't got around to doing it. So God of War Ragnarok. I really want to play the main game anyway, but Valhalla looks really interesting because of the story beats. It's installed. It will probably be the next PlayStation game that I play. I've got some time off up and around Christmas, right? So it's kind of why I wanted us to do it now, as opposed to doing this in January, where we missed 3 weeks of time. But yeah, God of War Ragnarok, really just need to get that stuff done.
Nice. Yeah, DLC, what I've seen bits and pieces of, does look quite good.
Well, yeah, I assumed it was just a roguelike thing that you just did, and that was that. But it turns out there's quite a lot of story in it as well, which is quite interesting.
Which harkens back to the first, the Greek God of War,
right? So obviously without spoilers there for Pengy, but yeah, so I want to give that a go. Pengy, game number 2, please.
Right, this is where my list most probably is like Pengy. You can't have that on the backlog.
We're only on to the second game, Pengy, so
yeah.
Try your hardest here, man.
So you may have to think of something on the fly of a replacement for this. But this game I've downloaded on 2 systems this year, and I've not played it on either of them. But after just playing Star Ocean, and obviously I played a lot of that on the Portal, and I feel this game would be great on the Portal. So PlayStation is where I'm playing it over Xbox, because it came to both services. That was Sea of Stars.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why. I don't know why you thought Sea of Stars wouldn't be good, but yeah.
because I thought you said it would be too recent or something like that.
Maybe we're on game 2, so we'll let a couple things slide. If we start getting to game 4 and it's like a game that came out yesterday, then maybe we'll. But it's a proper video game, Chris. To be honest, that's all we can ask of you.
Yeah, it was like a 20-hour, JRPG. Like I said, it's on Plus and Game Pass, and I have downloaded it on both systems at one point. I'm going to play that, and literally not got around to it. But like I said, playing Star Ocean on the Portal, that 2D stuff looking really good on that system. That's most probably how or where I will play it.
Fair enough. I think if I ever saw it in a really good sale on Switch, I might give it a go. Because I would play it handheld myself as well. Lovely.
Yeah.
Craigo, what's the third PlayStation game?
So, another one which I installed straight away, pretty much as soon as I bought the PlayStation when I got my Plus. It's a very pretty looking game, and one that I kind of surprised doesn't actually come to Xbox at all. That's Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Ah, yes.
I don't know why that never came to Xbox. I don't know if there's some very long deal with PlayStation, but
I'm not sure. A game that me and Pengles have both bought and not played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You both suck, so I thought I could, actually save the save slot free name here and maybe beat the game.
Lovely. I'm interested to see what you think of it. It's one that's been one I considered for this list. Is one of the definitely one of the honourable mentions for mine, but no, didn't really tickle me. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think. It's kind of Pikmin-y, right? So.
Yeah, you do have the little minion-y creatures with you, don't you?
Which is a perfect segue into my game number 3, boys, which is Pikmin 4. I've played the intro, liked the intro, and just haven't gone back to it yet. And it's a series which haunts me in its constant, I might play it status, and I feel like it's time to get through one of the Pikmins. I always hear really good things about Pikmin 4. Again, it's a game I own this one physically. So it'd be nice to play it and then shift it off. But yeah, Pikmin 4 on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh. Okay. Talking of Nintendo Switch, my third pick is the Nintendo Switch game.
Okay.
It may live. It's Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Okay, so how much of Wonder have you played, Pengy?
I've done the first world, and I looked on how long to beat. The game is 9.5 hours long. And I've only done the first world. That is it.
I think we have to allow it, Craigo, but I will
yes.
How many worlds are there?
I think there's 8.
So I've done one of 8.
If you're only obviously you're just going to do the game, you're not going to do any of the extras.
No, I'm just going to do the game.
I think it's about 8.
Yeah, so like I said, I've done one of 8, so not a huge amount of the game.
It'd be nice for you to play a Nintendo game.
Yeah, it's because Spider-Man came out, and Spider-Man. So
I can't wait to talk about all of this during the game of the year chat, Pengy. But but yes, okay, we'll allow it. Craigo, game number 4? Question mark.
Correct, 4. A longer one this time. And this will give it away to Dave. This is on the sleeve of the box of my PlayStation.
Oh yes.
And it's a game that's YouTube berated. YouTube shit all over this. But again, I thought I'll give it the save slot free chance.
You say that, but I think didn't it make our top 10 for Game of the Year?
Yeah. I think we both.
Well, you two should listen back to some old podcast, boys. Because
I think we just were like,
shit all over
it. The most boring game in the world. I think that's literally what we said. I think we just we were bored.
Yeah. So it's Horizon. Is it Forbidden West? The second one. I always get that confused. Always get that confused. So yeah, I did play the first one. I really like the first one. And it's again, it's on Plus. So it's got a good chance, boys. It's got a good chance.
Yeah, it's another one where the DLC is supposed to be incredible.
Yeah, I still want to play Burning Shores. It's just it's been on sale a couple of times, and I've just not bit the bullet on that.
The DLC for the first one is really good. So.
Yeah, Frozen Wilds was great. That one was really close to making my list. Because again, like you're right, like I really think I need to give it a second chance. And I loved the first one. I got the platinum for the first one. One of my most favorite games of all time. It was on our chat about my top 100 games. But yeah, the second one just didn't hit for me when I tried to play it. I think I said in the time it was one of the best looking games I'd ever seen. But I just didn't vibe with me. So I'd be interested to see what you think, because obviously you're a little bit more further removed from it as well. So like you've not played it in and around other games, which I think is its constant problem, that it's constantly surrounded by other good games.
You say that, but neither of us actually played Elden.
Right. But yeah, Forbidden West. Lovely. Well, my game number 4 is my first Xbox game of the list. It's not Redfall. Sorry, boys. I knew that there was hope, but that hope is diminished. It is Cyberpunk 2077, which I don't have any achievements for, but again, I've had it physically. I think, what did I say to you? It was like October 2021 or 2022 or something. I said to you, I've had that game physically, and I've not actually installed it. Yeah, so they've done the final update, the 2.1 update. I watched a video about it the other day, and the stuff they've added, it looks like it's a different game. To the point of which there's like completely new systems that weren't in the game even a year ago. So I think it's finally ready for me to play. Everyone says a lot about it. I finished Starfield this year, so I was like, well, maybe there's hope for these type of games. And everyone that I know that's played Starfield tells me that Cyberpunk is better. So I'm really curious. And I would like to get to the DLC as well. Obviously, that's another whole kettle of fish. We won't run before we can crawl here, boys. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 I would love to get to.
I was tempted at one point for the DLC on my list, because I've kept this game ever since I played it, with the hope that the DLC will come out and be good. Obviously, it's come out and it's meant to be good. CD Projekt Red tend to do good DLCs, so that is one that I do want to go back to that and play that DLC, because like I said, the changes I expect are absolutely huge.
Yeah, it's really interesting how that game is sort of panned out, but yeah. Pengy, game number 4.
Game number 4 is on Xbox, but it's not on like an Xbox exclusive or anything. It's just that's where I bought it digitally, and I didn't actually spend 50 quid on it, because I bought, I pengulsed it with vouchers and stuff. It was Alan Wake 2.
Nice. A game that you really disliked.
Yeah.
How are you quite far in this though, Chris?
I'm on like chapter 6, and remember there's 2 characters as well, so...
Okay.
Do you want me to Google how many chapters there are?
Yes, Bengi, I would love you to Google that, because this is obviously important to Craig.
Wait, 2. Let's go walk through. Let's see what that says.
Can't be that long, surely, Chris.
I think they got like...
So the game's only 18 hours long.
Yeah, I think I've played... So I've done 1, 2, 3...
I am now going on to Chris Pengelly's Xbox account.
Yeah, I do think I've played 6.
It's a third of the game. What do we think, Craigo?
I feel like that might be an overall. Okay.
We'll put that on the back burner for now, Pengy. What was the next game that you were going to say?
There's 18 chapters, and I think I've played 6.
We're gonna put this one on hold, Pengy.
Yeah.
For now, because it might still get through. What is the next game that you had?
The next game is like apparently the best game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
We'll definitely allow that. Definitely.
Yeah. That's allowed. There's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way.
2 hours of it.
There's no way you're going to finish Baldur's Gate 3. It might not even let you at this point, Penguin.
56 hours is the how long to beat time for Baldur's Gate 3.
Is there anything older than Alan Wake that you have in a backlog that you could play?
I have lots of things in the backlog I could play.
Because I kind of feel like there's a lot of 2023 in your list. Maybe one older than that would be good. If you're happy to look for another game while me and Craig talk about our fifths.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Craig.
It's just I feel like Alan Wake's never going to get played now, though.
That's fine. There's always a backlog next year, Pengy. At that point, we'll allow it.
Yeah.
Could be a tiebreaker. Who knows? Craig.
So, obviously, the PlayStation is the home of Pengul's games, right? It's what they breed in Sony land, isn't it?
Yes.
Games for Chris Pengelly.
Oh God, I am fearful of what you're about to say.
And what they do, Dave, so I'm told, because I'm new to this world, is they make these games.
They make third-person action games.
And then they
with daddy issues, don't forget.
Remaster them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they port them.
Mm.
They remaster them again. And then you get the remake of the remaster, right, Dave?
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right so far.
So, I've gone for Shadow of the Colossus, boys.
Oh, that was not the direction I was expecting you to go.
I know. I was trying to lead you down a rabbit hole there, Dave.
I want a live stream of this.
Remade, re-released, remastered, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought you were odds on to win this challenge, Craig, and then you've pulled that out, and then suddenly there's hope. Oof.
I love that. I want to experience it, Dave.
But yeah,
the controls are bad on purpose, and I want to experience it.
They are bad on purpose. They improved them as it's now the cross button to jump instead of triangle, but it still feels because obviously you know it's how you're gonna climb a giant or a colossus, I should say.
Yes. So yeah, it's a punt. It's there. It's there. It's one of Chris Pengelly's favourite games of all time, Dave. He's finished it 6 million times. It's only Journey that he's finished more, and that's because it's like 10 minutes long. So
no, I might have finished Fable more, to be honest.
Well, I'm not going to back and play in the first Fable, Chris. So we're going to have to stick with Shadow of the Colossus, okay? I don't think putting Journey on this list is really fair, is it? You know,
it's also not very good. Yeah, I mean, I also considered Shadow of the Colossus. I was actually listening to a Shadow of the Colossus like retrospective podcast today when I was at the gym, but I'm not that brave. I just know I'm gonna hate it. I know I'm gonna hate it. But again, balls on Craigo. So I had a really.
He's also listened to Mike Minardi say it's amazing as well.
Craig might like it. It's one of the Blue Point PS4 port is particularly good. So.
Obviously the most recent version would be the version that I play.
The remake.
Which is also like I think it's like PS5 enhanced slightly as well. Like it runs at like 60, 4K, like all kinds of shenanigans. I had a lot of choice for Game 5, boys. So the games that didn't make it, Horizon didn't make it, Shadow of the Colossus didn't make it, Ghost of Tsushima didn't make it, Borderlands 3 didn't make it, Kena Bridge of Spirits didn't make it. Countless old games. I looked, I was like, oh, could I do Majora's Mask on the N64? And I was like, that's old, isn't it? And then I was like, oh, I've got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on my Xbox. I could do that. I've got just the Wasteland. I've got fucking Disco Elysium. I've got all these games. And then I was like, oh, I could play a JRPG. And then I remembered that every time we say a JRPG on these lists, it doesn't get finished. And so I think
you had Persona 5 for like 2 or 3 years in a row. I don't think you ever got it.
And Persona 5 Royal's ship has sailed. Unless the Switch right, and if the Switch version had been like £5 or something, I could do it. But I am still going to have Bollocks of Steel, boys. Okay, and this is where my list will fall down. But if I am triumphant, I deserve all of the plaudits. So I have picked a game that I have not played 1 minute of, that I own, digitally, that is incredibly highly rated and is on my Xbox. And yes, I am going to fucking do it. I'm going to do Elden Ring.
Gonna get good.
There we go. Game of every year, apparently.
I'd rather jump out the window, I think.
I did look at that because it's the only Xbox game apart from 360 and not even 360. Original Xbox games that I own physical is Elden Ring, but yeah.
Do you join me on having a pair of bollocks, Chris? Because we could also play some of it in co-op. I'm just saying.
I could do that, but I gotta make that makes the list even more unrealistic, isn't it? If I got Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 on there.
Yes. Yeah, so what have we got for Game 5 then, Pinker? What are the new rules
I've gone for an older PlayStation 4 title, I don't know how it runs on PS5, but yeah, there's a PS4 title, so you can't say I've gone for anything new because PS5's been out for 3 years. An underrated series, I believe, Phil, which started on the Vita. I've gone for Gravity Rush 2.
Okay.
I think Dave might have had that one.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think he ever did it.
No, I got like a couple chapters in, but I played it very close to playing Gravity Rush Remastered, and it's kind of the same game. But yeah, it's a good game, I'm told. There's the free DLC you can play.
Of Raven.
Raven.
Is it Raven?
Yeah, it's Raven. Yeah. I thought it was Robin for some reason, but that's, I think, the boys. But yeah, it's a good game. And I will accept it because it's about 15 to 20 hours.
Yeah, it's much longer than the first one. I think it's like double the length of time. So yeah, lovely. And the first one's the only one I've obviously played and finished, which obviously the remasters of.
Yeah, I finished it on remaster. I didn't finish it on Switch. I got stuck on Vita, sorry, but I finished it on the remastered on PS4. It's quite an easy platinum actually, remastered.
Okay. Shut the studio down.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Sad times.
Well, they actually called Team Gravity, if I remember.
Yeah, from Japan Studio. But lovely. So we've got a quite heavy PlayStation list, which is actually really funny to me. Tells us all everything we need to know. I would say in terms of likely to get done, Craig is probably still number 1. I think arguably Pengi is number 2, and then I'm number 3. But you just don't know. You just don't know, do you? So
it all depends how. I guess I get on with Baldur's Gate. Well, it's
a three-way tie between Shadow of the Colossus, because it's a gamble on Craig, because I think he'll finish it, but it's whether he wants to finish it by the end. I think that could potentially be. Craig could be 2 minutes into that game and go, "Oh no, what have I done?" When he's like, "Oh, there's a grip meter, and you grip with square." Ah, I see. Equally, I could have thrown myself out of a window 2 minutes into Elden Ring, and you would have been completely lost. And because I'll be honest, Chris, the first save I did of Baldur's Gate 3, I died within an hour.
Right.
Just stumbled into the wrong place and died.
Yeah, that's the thing. I could walk into the wrong room or something,
and like half of the companions are missable. To be honest, you can do the whole game yourself. They're almost all missable.
I've got a full party of 4 already, and I'm 2 hours into it. I got the Wizard Dude, Shadowheart, and I don't know what she's called. You meet at the very, very start.
Liaison. So there's already 4 characters in that area you can get that you haven't got yet.
Yeah.
Plus a dog.
Nice.
I had the dog. Lovely, boys. Well, I look forward to seeing if we achieve these goals. Obviously, we can start them now from the end of this podcast. Like I said, God of War might get started for me this week. I've actually been really excited to play that, so that's cool. But yes, the list, I'm sure someone will make a note of it. But yeah, let us know in the comments who you think will and won't succeed, and what kind of games you're playing. If you're also playing a backlog, I know some of the listeners like to play backlogs. And I know some will be shocked and appalled there isn't that many JRPGs in this list. But we're just trying to be honest, boys. If we succeed with this 5 next year, I'll definitely be a JRPG on there. But yes,
mine's sort of got 3 RPGs on it.
Yeah, I meant like proper JRPGs.
RPG? Yeah,
like you've got Sea of Stars, right? That's the only like proper.
Yeah.
Craig wisely stayed away, and I have as well. Really, I think Elden Ring is the closest. God help me. But yes, thank you for watching the show. Again, put in the comments what you think you're going to do, and we'll see you for the next episode, whenever that may be.
Bye.